Well, hello guys. My name is Charles Richard, and today I'm going to give you an opinion, not a review. Right? There's many reviews about this on YouTube, and I don't think that we need another review. But I am going to give you my really down-to-earth opinion about this little camera right here. Okay, this is a Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, and I've got it with a pancake lens, as you can see right here, and I'm going to be testing it with different type of lenses. Not only this pancake lens, but also with some of the Fujinon 23mm 2.0 lenses, as well as some vintage lenses, so that you can see what this little powerhouse can do, and then I'll give you my thoughts behind it, so that you have a better idea to see whether this is something worthwhile as a replacement for the X100V. And I'll give you a little heads up. I think that my opinion that you will hear towards the end of this video will actually really surprise you, because well, let's take a look at first at what it can do, and then I'll get more into it as we show you some of the limitations as well. So here are some photos that I have been taking. Here I am here in Magic Kingdom, and the reason that I choose places like this to come to do a review is, number one, because it's got so much color here at Magic Kingdom, and that way you can have an idea of what the colors look like. And number two, because I am actually going to talk to you about using it in a real, in a real world environment, not in a studio environment, not as a photographer, but in a real world environment, one that you want to go out with your family and take some wonderful pictures of your vacation, and so we're gonna hit that aspect as well. And I happen to be here now in the Tomorrowland section of Magic Kingdom. You can see the speedway behind me of all the cars racing. So let's get on to this wonderful review, actually opinion, not a review, like I said. And here are just some photos of what I've been taking so far here at Magic Kingdom. Now again, this review is about the Fujifilm X-T30 version 2. Now there is a version 1, and the difference is not much. They both have the same sensor, and it is the same sensor as the X-T4. Now with that said, I'm not going to get into the specifics, okay, of the camera. Instead, I'm going to give you my personal thoughts of this wonderful camera. But also, I want to also let you guys know that all the photos that you're seeing here have been actually taken using the Fujinon 23mm f2, this Artisan 25mm. Let me see if I can get it to focus. This Artisan 25mm f2 is a manual lens. And I've got some vintage lenses that I'm also going to be using. This is a Pentax Asahi Takumar. It is a it is a 28 millimeter 3.5. As you can see right here, is a completely manual lens. And I'm also going to be using the Takumar. It is a Pentax Asanti. It is a 55 millimeter 1.8. These are wonderful vintage lenses, as you can see right here, and all these photos and videos that I'm going to be showing you are going to be using these particular lenses. And but here's the thing: I'm not going to tell you which photo was taken with what lens, because then it becomes a video dealing with a comparison of lenses, and I'm not going to do that. All right, I'm going to show you the different photos, showing you the capabilities of what this camera has, whether it is a autofocus lens or whether it is a manual lens, so that way you can see the flexibility of the camera and you can be a judge, particularly focus on what the camera can do and not what the lenses can do. All right, so let's get on with the video, and let me show you some more photos. Well, to continue this, I had to change locations because it was getting sort of noisy, and there's a lot of things going on here in Disney. For those that haven't really heard about it, it's sort of like a battle between Florida and Disney itself, between Ron DeSantis, which happens to be our governor, and I want to say the upper exclusive staff from Disney, CEOs, shareholders, and all that stuff. And today was one of the hearings in the court, and I'll get to you folks, and I'll explain to you what happened in another video, because again, this video is not about that, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And so certain times of the day, certain areas get a little bit more noisier than others, and I try to bring everything so you can see what's going on, not only here, but also to change the atmosphere a little bit, and to continue a place that you can actually hear me, right? To continue the review on the X-T30. I happen to change the lens on this one. This one happens to be, I'm using here, I've got it with the Pentax Asahi. It's Pentax Asahi Takumar. It is a 28 millimeter 3.5, and it is a completely manual lens. As you can see, you've got to have an adapter for it, but this camera has the capabilities of being able to manually it gives you the flexibility and the ability to use manual lenses, because it has actually 4 different types of manual focus techniques that you can use. And I want to sort of touch that a little bit on that, because most cameras just have what we call peaking, right? And you can select the colors, on most cameras, between white, red, blue, and yellow. Depends on what camera you have. On this particular one, you can select the colors. It's got 3 different colors that you can select for the peaking, which is white, red, and blue, and it's got the intensities, which either low or high intensity of that particular color. But with that said, it also has standard manual focusing. It has what is called a prism style focusing system, which what it does, it gives you a very small circle, right, in the middle of your actual frame, and you can use that to actually focus. You can see a little bit better, okay, with that little circular. Some people like to use that. Personally, I use the what is called the split screen. This gives you what is called a split screen, and it gives you the ability to have a split screen either in color or in monochrome. What it does, it actually creates a screen within a screen. It doesn't change the what you see in the whole screen, so you're looking at the whole screen in itself, right? But that little screen, what it does, all right, is I use the monochrome. It converts it to monochrome because when you focus in monochrome, your focusing is a lot more accurate and a lot more precise, because monochrome keys in and is more heavy into sharpness, all right? And that's what you want to have when you are actually trying to focus. You want to have a really sharp image, and that's the technique that I use when I use manual lenses like this here, which is the Pentax Asahi Takumar 28mm 3.5. Wonderful lens, and you're gonna see the different colors. I'm not gonna tell you again, I'm not gonna tell you what photos were with which lens, because it's not about the lenses. That is going to be in another review, and you will see the differences between the lenses, because I do have another video that I'm going to be comparing some of these lenses, so that you can see the differences between what is modern and what is vintage, what has a lot of glass and what has the what we call the new glass, which is really made out of machine made. It's not true glass, all right? It is a manufactured glass. It's a synthetic glass, and it's a huge difference. That's just a little sort of like a little feedback, or a little something for you to grab on, so you can see the next, until you see the next video. But let's take a look at some more photos, and then we can take it on from there with my conclusion on this camera, the Fuji X-T30 Mark II. Well, I changed one more time my location here at Magic Kingdom. I happen to be right now inside Tom Sawyer's Island. This is a really wonderful area to rest. It's really breezy and it's pretty calm. The only problem here for doing videos like I'm doing right now is that, because it's got so much shade, you can see the sky is either good and I am underexposed, or the sky is overexposed and I look good. So I sort of did something like in between to sort of give you a balance of colors for this video, right? But anyways, getting back to the X-T30, this wonderful X-T30, my final thoughts on it is pretty easy and pretty simple. Where you have other cameras in the Fuji line that are a lot better and a lot more expensive, personally, my personal opinion, right, is that I've got the XH2S, I've got the XH2, and I've got the XT5. Now those cameras are very, very well over $1,500. When you add a lens to it, you're talking about a $2,500, $3,000 camera. To come to an area like here, or to use it as a family camera, you know, it's okay if you use it in the house, if you use it in your studio, but when you bring it out here, you're talking about a $3,000 camera that can get banged up, is big, it's bulky, it's heavy, and after you're carrying your camera around your neck for about, you know, good 4 hours, 5 hours, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna be tiring. It's gonna be tiring. And although the cameras are really, really good, you know, I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to, you know, be portable, you know, and I like things that are small. Now, with these cameras, yes, when you put a vintage lens, you know, you do end up with a bigger camera because you've got to add the, of course, you know, the adapter, then the lens, you know, and that makes it a little bit bigger. With the other lens that I had previously, it's a pancake lens, you know, and those pancake lens makes it very, very nice to be able to have it as a street camera. You know, it's very portable, very beautiful. The problem with those lenses are that, here, let me show you. All right, I've got my bag up in here. All right, let me show you what I mean by it. Okay. The pancake lens is very small. This is the pancake lens. This is an Artisan, actually it's a TT Artisan, okay? This is a TT Artisan. It is the 25mm f.2. When you put it on the camera, you know, it's really small, okay? The camera is really, really compact. Take a look at this. All right, let me put the cap on so I don't scratch the lens. Take a look at this size lens compared to this lens here. Let me put it on there for you so you can see the difference compared to a lens that is this size here. All right, now that's a huge difference as far as size is concerned. Now, yes, I do have as you can see, right, I do have a grip on the camera, and I've got the grip on the camera because when I put these vintage lenses, I need something that will balance it out a little bit better, and so by me putting a grip, it's going to give me that little extra balance. So with that said, you know, my opinion on this camera is really good. You can't get the XT, or I'm sorry, the X100V. It's pretty much basically almost impossible to get it, and if you do find it, you find it in the second-hand market, or you find it maybe in eBay. You know, they're asking $2,000. This camera is only $800. Okay, for $800, you know, you've got a camera that's got a lot more power than the X100V. Now, I've got to be very honest with you guys, all right? I come to Disney. I live out here. I'm here almost every day, all right? I come to Disney to do these videos for you because I want you to see the cameras in a real world scenario. Not under a studio environment, okay? Not under a person that brings a camera, takes a camera, and he wants to do a review on a camera, and the only thing he does is he goes out and he takes pictures of plants. You know, people don't, in the real world, people don't use cameras to go out and take pictures of plants. You know, they go out to take pictures of their families, you know, of their vacations, you know, and that is what I am trying to bring to you, and in as much as I can in a real world scenario, so you can see what these cameras can do. With that said, all right, all the lenses that I use here are different lenses, but I didn't change none of the settings on the camera, so the camera was actually completely the same for all lenses. You know, I did not change the colors on it. I did not change excuse me, I did not change the dynamic range on it, because on this camera you can do all of that. All right, I did not change none of that. All right, I left it so that you can see, all right, that the camera has the capability of handling colors, of handling video, of handling actual, you know, photos, because I didn't put no videos on this particular video. I did not take no videos, all photos, right? So that you can see what it can do as a camera. As a video camera, it is also really, really good. My next video, one of my next videos, all right, I will show you what this camera is capable of doing in video as a video camera. But for now, my honest opinion, I think because it is the X-T30 version 2, you know, it gets all the updates, all right? The focus, okay, the autofocus is the same and as fast as the X-T4. The X-T4 has been upgraded with firmware because Fujifilm has always been able to bring us firmware that actually makes the cameras better. With the latest firmware, it did a lot of stuff, a lot of great stuff. And because this is the X-T30 version 2, it gets all those firmware updates. The previous version has the same sensor, but it doesn't get any upgrades. Besides the fact that it has, you know, another film simulation, that's not really important because there is a way to put the film simulation on the older camera as well. But with that said, okay, with that said, out of all the cameras that are out there that are available, you know, it doesn't matter if you look at the E4 or all that stuff, okay, this camera has the capability of doing more. Okay, it's a step below the X-T4, but it will do a lot more than any of the other cameras that has the same sensor, including the X100V. Now, with that said, you know, my recommendations for the price and the stuff that you can do with it. And by the way, you know, if I were to take, you know, I'm gonna do one more thing. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna do one more thing for you guys, all right? So that you guys can see, if I can just get a coin. Okay, I got a coin, all right? I'm gonna take the grip. You see how big the camera is right now? I'm gonna take the grip out of it so you can see how small this camera really is, because this camera is really small. It is smaller, in all honesty, truth. The body itself is smaller than the 100V. All right, a little bit smaller, not much, not much. Take a look at how small the camera is now. All right, you see how small the camera is? Look at my hands. Look how small the camera is. Okay. Very small, very retro, has all controls for everything. Okay, let me see if I can give you a better view of that. It's got controls for everything. Your screen, you know, your screen folds down like this, or you can put it waist level and you can, you know, see what you're actually what you're photographing. With this said, this camera with this lens is really, really portable, super portable, you know, highly recommended. The power behind it, the quality, you know, of what you can do with it, it's just phenomenal. You know, I very highly recommend this camera. I don't make no money or anything like that, but I think that one of the better places to get this camera is a place like Amazon, Best Buy. So that you guys know, Best Buy now has a contract with Fujifilm, and they are carrying the complete line of Fujifilm products. All right, so Best Buy would be the best place that I would recommend, more so than B&H. More so than B&H. Why? B&H is great, don't get me wrong, but more so than B&H because there's more Best Buys all over the US, and there's more ways to be able to exchange it, get more things for it, you know what I'm saying? Their policies as far as returns and all that stuff is a lot better. You know, B&H has a good policy, but I had to wait, you know, like 3 or 4 days for my monies to get back if you put it on a credit card. Best Buy is, you know, if you have to bring it back, you know, the next day your money is there on your account. You know, it's a huge difference. But with that said, you know, those are the places that I recommend for you to go and get this camera. So anyways, this is Charles Richard. If you have any questions, please ask me. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. That would really help us out a lot. And I hope you have a great day. And let me know what you think about this camera and what lenses you would use, or which are your favorite lenses for a camera like this. All right, until the next video. Bye-bye.